And for those of you who missed that part this morning, tonight is the continuation of First Fruit Sunday. And to those of you who may have forgotten that today, next Sunday, but nonetheless, today is First Fruit Sunday. And that goes to say, for all of our churches all over, lahat po ng satellites natin ay First Fruit Sunday din na today. And we praise God for the victories that we've had experienced throughout the last several hours. And we look forward to what else that God is going to do in the lives of people today. Tonight, if you have not yet participated in the First Fruit Sunday offering and you need an envelope to be a part of that, tapos hindi kayo nakakuha ng envelope when you came in the church today, and you would like to participate, kindly raise your hand para mabigyan namin kayo ng envelope to be a part of the First Fruit Sunday offering that's today. Okay? So, kung kayo po ay, you have some to have, pakitaas po. Yun po ating regular offering of tithes and offerings, mamaya po yun during the regular time. I will be taking the First Fruit Sunday in the middle of the preaching today. So, to those of you who have not yet gotten your own envelope, pakitaas po yung kamay nyo so you can be a part of that. If you are a guest, you have nothing to worry about. Okay? Kasi po sa ating mga bisita, ang aming mga offerings in our church and all of our satellites are not for our guests. They are for members and attenders only. Okay? If you are a guest and like to participate in the regular offering, mamaya you can as the Lord speaks to you. Otherwise, by your presence here today, naibigyan niyo po sa amin ang pinaka-importanting offering na pwede ibigay sa ating church and sa Panginoon, and that is to give God your time. So, salamat po sa ating mga guests who are here. And today, as a part of the preaching, I want to use what we're talking about to also help explain ano ba to? What is an offering? What's a first fruit offering? Okay? There are other churches who take this religiously. In other words, it's a part of their doctrine. Hindi po. Sa atin po, natawag lang natin yung First Fruit Sunday kasi it's something that we do at the first of the year. Okay? So that's why we call it First Fruit Sunday. I don't know of other churches apart from our satellites who do first fruit offerings like kung paano natin ginagawa. Yung iba meron silang whatever. It is not a fundraising, so you don't need to write your name on it. You don't need to do any of those. Unless you need to file your offerings with your taxes, then you can write your name on the envelope and then get your receipt after church over the church office to sa baba. Otherwise, a first fruit offering, we don't put our names on it. Hindi nakalagay dyan sa iyong pangalan, magkano, or whatever. It's something that we say to God, God, because you are faithful and you have brought me to this place in my life. No matter how hard your life has been, maybe last year was tough on you. Maybe the first of the year up until today was hard, difficult on some of you. Some were taken to the hospital, iba naman-fine, iba nawalan, all kinds of things. The mere fact that you are here, and the mere fact that nandito kayo today, says to you that God is faithful. That God is faithful. And so this offering is about saying to God, God, I want to thank you. And because of that, ibang members natin simula pa yan towards the last quarter of last year. Iba literal this week, nung sumunod sila, have decided to say, God, I will honor you with my first offering. And that's what the first fruit offering is all about. That's what we do as a church. No? Kasi when we talk about an offering, any offering, whether it be time or money or talent, sasabi nila, time or treasure or talent, any of those, okay, must be accompanied by an attitude. Must be accompanied, pero kasama siyang kaisipan na nararapat in order for us to fully understand what it means to truly be able to offer anything to God. Okay? And such as we want to explain that today, in Hebrews chapter 11, it says this, sabi niya, anytime you approach God, you must approach God in faith. Kasi without faith, it is impossible to please God. Na meron palang mga imposibleng bagay sa Bible. Akala natin, kasi Pastor, I thought everything is possible with God. Yes, everything is possible with God. Okay, Lord. No? Okay, Lord. But without faith, it's impossible to please Him. And if you don't please God, then it will be impossible for Him to give you favor. Balikan yan eh, no? Balikan. So anyone who wants to come to Him must believe that God exists and that He rewards those who diligently seek Him. We learned last week about the widow, and we talked about her. Did you know that in the Bible, there are more than 80 references to widows? Mga baloy. Mahalaga po ang widows and orphans sa mata ng Panginoon. In fact, widows and orphans are so important in the eyes of God that when the church was established in Antioch to do ministry, they chose from among them seven men who are godly and leaders, whose job was to take care of the widows and the orphans. Did you know that? There are more than 70 verses in the Bible that directly address the issues of widows and orphans. The Bible is replete. Can you imagine? There's only 66 books in the Bible and more than 80 references to widows. So that means there's more than, if you will divide among the Bible books, at least one and a half almost in every book. No? Of the Bible, talking about widows. Bakit? Kasi the world in that time, actually even today's time, regards widows as people who are experiencing bad luck. Yun ang tingin ng mundo sa widows noong panahon noon. In fact, ang tingin na noon, kung kayo ay balo, ikaw ay sinumpa ng Diyos, kaya ng Panginoon sa God sa heaven. There's two ways to be in a bad light sa panahon ng mga tao noong unang panahon. Una, maging widow ka. Pangalawa, what's the other one? To be an orphan. Dalawa. Kasi that means God must be angry at you. No? The third one is to be barren, unable to have children. Pag ikaw sa tatlo, ang tingin ng society sa'yo back then, galit ang Diyos sa'yo. Galit ang Diyos sa'yo. And so that's why God puts so much attention on the widows in the Bible, and He shows how God uses the widows. Imagine just a few, okay? The miracle kay Elijah was through a widow. Yeah? The miracle kay Elijah was a widow. Right? Ang daming widows na may sakit that God healed o ginamit. The widow's mite that we're talking about today. Yung offering ng widows. So dinami-dami na nag-offering sa Bible. Yung offering niya hinaylight ng Panginoon. Again, to a widow. Bakit kaya, Pastor? Why did God keep using widows as a form of example in the Bible? I believe God keeps using widows as a form of example in the Bible because He wants us to see that God can do great things even when the world doesn't see great things. That God has a special prepared place for prepared people. Na walang kinalaman yung sitwasyon mo, yung pinagdadaanan mo sa buhay mo, to understand that God can bless you and God can use you pagdating sa time na ito. And so when you look at it, at this point, the woman said that Jesus sat down the opposite the treasury and watched the people putting money in the offering box. Many rich people put in large sums, and a poor widow came and put in us 2 small copper coins, which make a penny. So, parang 50 centimos, no? Sa atin. And he called his disciples and said, truly I say unto you, this poor widow has what? Put in more than all those who are contributing in the offering box, because they all contributed out of their abundance. But she has contributed what? Out of her poverty. And in that she has put everything she had and all she had to live on. And all she had to live on. Kasi alam niyo bakit? Ang offering po, again, whether kayo mag-offering ng actual offering like we're about to do sa first offering, or mag-offer kayo ng talino ninyo, o mag-offer kayo ng buhay niyo sa Panginoon, for God to honor that offering, there must be at least dalawang attitude that is involved in it. The first one is this, that your offering must be based on recognition, pagkilala. Pagkilala. That you recognize that all that you have been given is God's unknown to you. Ito ay sa Diyos, pinahiram lang sa iyo. Ang yaman mo sa Diyos, pinahiram sa iyo. Anak mo sa Diyos, pinahiram lang sa iyo. Talento mo sa Diyos, pinahiram lang sa iyo. Everything that we have. The Bible says, without me you can't do anything. So everything you have is just unknown to you. That's why it amazes me sometimes how people talk about yung struggle nila na sumuko sa Panginoon. I have to be honest with you. Hindi po ako sumuko sa Panginoon the full-time ministry dahil natakot ako na hindi ako magpalangin ng Panginoon. Lumaki po ako sa gawain ng Panginoon and I saw that God was faithful. Okay? I did not have any issue in my struggle to follow the call of God. Si Pastor James po, never ako nagkaroon ng issue. Kung baka pag binigay ko ito sa Panginoon, aalagaan mo niya. Never ako kasi nakita ko sa mga magulang ko at sa mga pastor, nakita ko sa buhay ng tatay ko at ng nanay ko kung paano magpala ang Panginoon. In fact, may paniwala nga ako noon, yung babasok hindi ako magpalain eh. Dapat bataan ng pagpapala, masyadong pinagpapala. Abusado eh. No? So wala pong issue doon. Ang issue ko ito, makulit si Pastor James. Mayabang si Pastor James. Akala ko talaga, kaya kong mas ayusin yung buhay ko, tapos saka ako maglilingkod sa Diyos. Sabi God, gagawin ko ito. Papayaman ako. Papayaman ako. Tapos susuporta ko yung ministry mo. Angas, ano? Sabi mo yun? Inisip ko talaga yun. Sabi God, papayaman ako, tapos susuporta ko yung kita bilang pastor, bibili ang kitang Ferrari. Tapos para hindi ka magbintang, nagnanakaw ka ng offering ng church. Yung license plate mo, yung bang anong tawag yung personalized, nakalagay, gift from Sam. Oh, I've been saying that since I was 18 years old. I told my dad I would do that. I said, Dad, I will be your #1 supporter in ministry. I will help pastors, I will help Bible school students, I will help everybody that I can. You know? So that's what I'm going to do. Of course, magsaserve din naman ako, pero talaga, yun ang gusto ko. Di ba? Sa pakinggan, ang yabang, napaka-angas ko. Can you imagine how insulting that must be to God? I think about that, and I say to myself, God, buti po hindi niyo ako pinatay. Sorry po talaga. Kaya nung sumuko po ako sa Panginoon, sa ministry, ang unang pumula na sa ko, sorry eh. Lord, sorry po. Oh, huwag niyo po ako patayin dito. Sino ka ba naman? Para magyabang ka sa Panginoon, tutulungan mo siya. No? But that was my thing before. That was me. It's embarrassing, but that's me. You see, an offering must be based on a recognition. Pagkilala. God, this is yours. Pinahiram mo lang sa amin. Sa lahat po ng aming mga anak, that's the very first prayer we pray habang nasa hospital kami. First time siya, pag ni-room in sa kwarto namin, kwarto ng misis ko, I will take the child. Simula kay Andy yan, pasulong. I will take the child and I will say, God, this child is yours. Pinapahiram mo lang sa akin. Gamitin niyo po yung gusto niyong gawin sa bata ko. Susunod po kami. That's always been our prayer. Because we understood that very clearly at that time. You see, it must come, your offering must come with the recognition. It also should come with obedience. Obedience is an act of worship. Worship comes from a surrendered heart. Ibig sabihin, in God's economy, any offering must be based on obedience first. Now, bakit? Kasi it is an evidence of your faith to God. It must be based on obedience. Kaya nga po sinasabi natin yung first fruit offering natin ay time na it's between you and the Lord. I'm not going to ask you to write your name. Not going to give a great big applause. Yung palakpakan natin mamaya sa dulo pag tumating yung total. But it says, God, I'm doing this because I want to obey you and to honor you. I want to obey you and to honor you. And today, that's what the first fruit offering is. So today, if you are ready with your first fruit offering, we're going to pray. And then I want you to take hold of your first fruit offering. And then we're going to come to the front and dadalhin po natin yung offering natin dito. And we're going to give our offerings to our first fruit offering to the Lord together. Okay? Shall we pray? Father, we praise you today. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you, Lord, because, Lord, we can't really give you anything. But we come with a prepared heart. And we come, Lord, with our obedient spirit, Lord. Knowing, Lord, na pinigilala namin, Panginoon, na lahat ng ito at higit pa, Panginoon, ay sa iyo, Panginoon, na pinigilala mo lang po sa amin. And so, God, we come today in complete obedience to you. And we bring our offerings to you today. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. If you're ready, let's all come and bring our offerings together. Pagtayo sa harapan, may lang dito mas magpe-pray tayo sama-sama. Okay? Let's go. Would you be ready with your offerings? Let's come together and pray. Dear Father, as your people come today with this first fruit offering, Panginoon, ikaw po ang mataas, ikaw po, Panginoon, ang mauna. Father, we praise you, we thank you, because you have blessed us, Lord. And today we recognize, Lord, and we praise the blesser, not the blessing. Kasi we understand, Lord, na lahat ng blessing, Panginoon, galing lang po sa iyo, Panginoon. In the midst of some of the hardships that my brothers and sisters, Lord, may have gone through, Lord, this past year, this past several weeks, Panginoon. Lord, you are faithful enough to have brought us, Panginoon, to the Lord. And so, God, we honor you and praise you. Take this offering, Lord, and bless. And when you bless, Lord, remind us, Lord, that these are proofs and products, Lord, of our obedience to you, Panginoon. Ikaw po, Lord, ang mapapunan. In your name we pray. The message I had always entitled Widow's Mite. Yung mite po na yun ng M-I-T-E. Kasi ang mite ay isang pera. I said M-I-G-H-T, mite, kapangyarihan. Because widows are often looked at as weak. Mahina, walang pwedeng gawin. When you are a widow, back in the day, dalawa lang pwedeng mo trabaho. You can become a hostess or hospitality girl, or you will be a cleaner in the fields. Yung mga tira-tira ng aani, iipunin mo yun, yung marami na grain, lilinisin mo, tapos ibibenta mo ulit for like 1/3 or less of the actual price of the grain. That's all you got. That's all you got. No one will go with you, no one will touch you, no one will do anything. If you remember from the Old Testament, si Ruth at saka si Naomi yung mother-in-law ni Ruth, dalawa silang balo. No? Dalawa silang balo. Kaya nung nagkasama si Ruth kay Boaz, it was called the kinsman redeemer dahil natubos yung malas na tingin ng mundo sa dalawa. That's what they called it to be. Such was the case of the woman that we're talking about here. The world looked at her. Can you imagine siguro yung distance between her and the other people nung nag-offering siya? No? Everyone's like, oh, dalawang dyan. Madilipid sila yung malas. Sino ang Pilipino ganun din? Kulturang Asyano kasi ang Bible eh. Hindi ba? Kaya po sa Pilipinas, Asian culture din tayo. No, ang dami natin Asian cultures na mga weird. Naniniwala tayong malas na papasa sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Tama? How about this one? Bakit di mong bata meron sinulid sa noo? Yung iba nasa puso. No. Para sa inyo, puwera, anong tawag doon sa punta? Puwera usog. Di ba? I told the story dati may isang bata yung bata sa akin, ikagakang ka ng nanay, no? Driver nila mamisir dati sa bahay sa Pasig. Sabi ko, hi! Ang cute ng bata. How are you? Tapos yung bata, where? Yung mga bata, normally takot sa akin eh. Sabi yung bata, nagtatawa yung bata, maliit na bata. Tuwan-tuwa yung bata. Ba? Hindi natakot sa akin. Kunti lang po yung mga tropa ng mga bata dito eh. Mga anak nila Pastor Paul, yung dalawa na yun. Pero yung dalawang boy nun, takot sa akin dati yung dalawa na yun. Oo. Pero yung dalawang bulso, ewan ko lang, yung ngayon, yung paparating pa lang, yung girl, ewan ko kung anong kakalabasan nun. Yung anak nila Pastor Bob, medyo tropa yan. Si Victor, nandiyan ba? Yung konti lang yan. Bilang lang yung mga tropa ko the rest, parang nakakita ng Satanas siya, parang nakikita ako eh. Yung iba pag dumating sobrang takot sa akin, naglalaro sila, nilalaro ako sa katwa, nagpapagat ng puno. Para lang ako pansin eh, It's just scared, sabi, ay, yung bakit ito wala? Sabi nyo na sa akin, ay, Pastor, gusto sa'yo, oo nga. Lumawakan mo sa akin na rin. Dilay mo. Tapos sabi sa akin, pero usog. So, ang ginawa nila, kumuha ng sinulit, saka thread, nilawayan, yung mga bata nila, nilawayan, tapos idinikit sa noo. Wala usog daw, para hindi tamaan ng malas yung bata. Ang tingin ko, minalas yung bata ang nilawayan ko. Hindi ko alam, ba't ka magiging masaya kung milaway ka, di ba? Diba? So yung bata, lalakad sa buong bahay, merong ganito dito sa loob, merong usog. Filipinos, huwag magwawalis sa gabi. Kasi, ano daw? Lalabas ang malas. Tama? Pag namatayan, huwag maghahatid. Namatay po yung dati ko. Dito eh. Alam mo sa dati, maraming mga sikat ng mga tao yan eh. Mga senator, congressman, governor, ganyan. Ako naman, hatid ako ng hatid. Aba mga nagtatakbuhan lahat. Di ba iba? Yung iba, inaabot ko ng kotse eh. May pastor, hindi po ako nakaipagatid. Hindi po ako yan. Hindi po ako. Hindi po ako yan. Hindi! Wag! Medyo violent na eh, no? Eh yung isa naman wala, hinahabol ko. Kaya, ngayon kotse, magating doon. Kala ko po nakalis na kayo. Sabi mo magandang gobernador dati. Sabi mo na nga, huwag kayo magatid eh. Nagalitan ako. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Yung pala, anong tawag doon? Yung bawal maghatid. Kasi pag hinatid mo daw, kasi pamilya ka namatay, ikaw yung susunod na mamamatay. No? Kung totoo po yun, kalahati ng Philippine registration at mga NGO, LGU, patay lahat. Kung totoo po yan, dami ng dalaw, dinalaw ko lang. Kung totoo pala yun, kapag dahil gusto tao ihatid. Sinasadya, huwag mo kayo, gusto ko ihatid. What? Kita, But dahil Filipinos, man, we're crazy about mga pamahilan nito. Pag may nahulog na kutsara, habang kumakain, may bisita. Tama? Pag kutsara, babae. Pag tinidor, lalaki. Pag kutsarita, tiyanak. Ang dami na sa Pilipinas. One time, nandito ako sa dulo ng Batangas, dahil pagkain, ako naman pagkain, kain naman ako, kain. Pero kung kumakain ako, hindi ko, I can't eat na hindi uminom. I'm always drinking. Nakasanayan ko ng pakiramdam ko, bakit niya ako yung bumabasa ng ulan ko, kahit anong uya ka, that's the way I am, So I'm there, kain kami na kain. Tapos yung matanda, yung host of the house, nakatingin lang sa akin. Tapos parang naiiyak kasi niya niya. Sabi niya, Pastor? Yes po na. Dahil mo nakain ha? Sabi niya, Pastor? Yes po na. Ayaw mo pa yung pagkain ko. Sabi na, naiiyak. Alam ayaw mo ata yung pagkain ko eh. Dahil mo naman nakain. violation sa diet ko to. Sabi, kasi napansin ko, inom ka ng inom eh. Yung pala, sa tingin niya, ayaw ko yung pagkain, so inom ako ng inom. Diba? Ang Pilipinas, marami tayo mga socio-spiritual beliefs that we think are attached to, to these things. You see, the same thing with this woman. Ang dami nilang paniwala, mga kaka, and teachings. Unfortunately, they have attached spirituality to the wrong beliefs. Alam niyo po sa Kristiyano ganyan din. Maraming Kristiyano have the same thing. They have wrong beliefs, such as mag-first fruit ako para sweltihin ako. Mag-o-opening ako para mas malaki yung bigay. Ba't ginawa mo loto si Jesus? That's how it goes back in the day. But this woman instead responded differently. She responded in faith. Notice what Jesus said. For she, out of her poverty, had put it all. Siya, sa gitna ng kanyang kahirapan, ibinigay ang lahat. Hindi po pinag-iisipan dito yung size o kung magkano. Kasi nga, dalawang mamera lang yung binigay niya. Okay? It was not the size of her portion, but the proportion of it to her life. Yung kanyang offering ay directly nakadikit sa kung paano siya mabubuhay. In other words, yung regalo niya sa Panginoon had a direct connection to how she will live. Directly maapektuhan ang buhay. Yan ang problema with the churches today. We give to God only up to the point na huwag lang tayong maabala. Maglilingkod ako sa iyo, God, basta hindi conflict sa trabaho ko, hindi conflict sa school ko. Sino ba nabili ng trabaho ko? Hindi mo Panginoon yan? Sino ba nabili ng eskwela ko? Bakit hindi ka mamili ng subject na hindi mako-conflict sa paglilingkod mo sa Panginoon? Pastor, mas tatagal po ang pag-aaral ko. Sino ba nagpagunahan sa'yo? Kala ko ba kalooban ng Panginoon ang hinahabol ko? Eh, di ko alam, pabilisan pala ito. Sino ba nagbigay sa pera mong pang-tuition? Eh, di ba si Lord? Sa mga naghahanap trabaho. Instead of looking for the highest pay, highest return, how about the highest opportunity to serve God? Kasi, Pastor, hindi practical. Sabihin kayo ng Panginoon sa inyo, alam mo, ito hindi masyadong dapat sa akin. Hindi practical ng palain. Yeah? Eh, ito hindi masyadong, kung wala ng palain masyadong, hindi siya practical. Kasi magas na niya ibang bagay. Diba? Iba, damakpak din magpapahala ng Panginoon. Pray ka pa rin ng pray dahil parin mo lang. Kung makapag-pray ka magpalain para ang Panginoon napakasalbahe sa iyo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You see, she responded differently. What did the Bible say? The Bible says what? Without faith, your approach to God is impotent, worthless, will not accomplish anything. Here's an example of impotence. Madalas po ang impotence is referred to sexuality. In other words, okay, you can honeymoon 365 days in the year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Pero kung ikaw ay impotent, walang ilalabas na anak yan. Impotent. That's what that means. Adinatos, impotent. Sabi niya, without faith, your approach to God is impotent. Kung hindi ka lang lalapit sa Panginoon in faith, huwag ka na lang lumapit. Notice what God said. Again, balik. Sabi, she, among everyone else, gave the most. Gave the most. Because, what? Impotent. Pastor, if I respond to God in faith, let me skip the ones I did this morning. Pastor, what if I respond to God in faith? What happens? Glad you asked. When we respond to God in faith, your faith must mean preparation or work. It will result in multiplication. Bakit? Notice what it says in Hebrews 11:6. Because He is a rewarder. The word rewarder in the Greek means a multiplier of those who seek Him. The reward of seeking God is God in faith is God Himself. Not yung return. O nagbigay ako ng ganito, dapat ito na doble mo. O nag-serve ako, dapat i-promote mo ko. O the reward of seeking God in faith is God's presence in you. Familiar ba yan? Yung mahahanap mo ang Diyos, favorite natin sa Jeremiah 29:11 to 13. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in the future. Verse 13, and you will seek me, and you will find me when you seek for me with all of your heart. Makikita mo ako, pag hinanap mo ako ng iyong buong puso, yung po ay pangako sa mga Hudyo lang. Hindi sa atin yun. Pastor, favorite verse ko ba din yan? Oo nga, sayang no? Hindi sa'yo yan. Yung principle yan pwede. Bakit, Pastor? Kasi Hebrews 11:6 says, what? He is rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. When you seek Him with all of your heart, Jeremiah 29:13, eto kabila, diligently seek Him. So technically, hindi but in reality, yung pangako ng Diyos sa Israel, kung hahanapin mo ako ng buong puso, eto yung pangako sa mga Gentiles, sa Hebrews, kung hahanapin mo ako ng buong puso, nandun ang plano ng Panginoon. Let me explain so that you will further understand. In visuals, I like to speak in visuals. What does it mean, Pastor, to come in faith? Okay, so I'm going to take an actual demonstration. Okay, Andrew, please come here. Angela. Kailangan ko ng mga mabait. Saka yung walang kwenta. Ito si Tica. Iba. So, ito ay yung dalawa. Here. One Christian here. One Christian here. Ito pinag-usapan natin, worthless, impotent faith. Okay? So, inutan ko si Jesus kayo ng umaga. Then, kasi yung road ko. Alright. Ano ibig sabihin ng worthless, impotent faith? Sabi kasi ganito. Okay. Ano sabi natin? Faith. Faith plus preparation or work equals multiplication or reward. For example, eto si God. Eto si Christian. Eto si Christian. Okay. Anak ng Diyos, ito si God. So, ganito ang gawin natin. Kunyari God, ito si Christian preparation work. Ito si Christian faith. Okay, faith. Pagpupuli sa Panginoon, so mag-worship ka na. Worship ka na. Worship ka na. Isa lang, dalawa. Pati pa. Kasi so, nag-worship siya. Diba? In the worship, God speaks to you. So God, kausapin mo siya. Pinakausap mo siya. Para sa worship ka rin nga. No? Pinakausap mo siya. The Lord reveals to you in His Word. Pakita mo sa Word. Ito yung dapat mong gawin sa buhay mo. Umuo ka, nag-agree ka naman. Tama? Tama. Nag-agree, no? So in faith, nagpupuli ka ulit, worship. Tapos pinakita siya sa Word. Ito yung dapat mong gawin. Nag-agree ka, right? Right? Does He get rewarded? No. Wala yan. Walang pagpapala ng Diyos yan. Walang guidance, walang pagpapala ng kahit ano. Bakit? Kasi nagkakaroon lang siya ng faith encounter with God but he's not moving in preparation to work and do for God. Puro forma lang. Puro worship. Pagkat umiiyak. No, lumulundag, tumatanong, nakiki-yes, nakiki-amen, taas kamay, di naman sumusunod. Na-inspire lang. No? Maraming mga tao na-inspire lang. And then they wonder, Lord, ba't di mo ko binibigyan ng direction sa buhay ko? And sabi ni Lord, hanggang dyan ka lang. Ulang. See, persistence without faith, work without faith, preparation without faith is impotent. Faith without works is also dead. Doon tayo sa kabila. Ito naman isa, nag-work siya para sa Panginoon. No? Yan, mapatilyo ka. Lakad ka na lakad doon. Ikot na, kaya. Nabawa mo yung pako. Bawa mo, nakasama yung pako. Yan! So, tuloy ka lang. Ikot ka na, lakad-lakad. Ikaw, tinatapos mo siya gano'n. This is God. Kinukuha mo yung attention niya. Huwag pansinin si Lord. Tuloy mo lang yan. Tatrabaho lang siya. Sa church, nagre-repair. O ano-anong pinapako. Walang batilyo ng papako. Teka. Hindi ata preparation dapat sa kapila ata ito. Ipako mo lang. Hindi ata yung daliri mo, watamaan. Tawagin mo, Lord. Tawagin mo, kinakawan mo. Hindi niya pinapansin. Work lang sila ng work. Kasi mo, yun! Uy, tumapos. Okay? Diba impressive yan, tingnan? Isn't that impressive sa the church? Wow, grabe sa Angelo. Ang sipag-sipag niya. Nagsaserve siya kay God. Yan! Diba? Wow! Diyan tayo na-impress, diba? Woo! Grabe sa Angelo. Ginagamit siya ni Lord. Tinatawag siya ni Lord. Hindi naman niya pinapansin. So in other words, Angelo is acting on his own without faith. And the Bible says, work without obeying God, impotent. Ito yung mga tipong tao, mga galing sa Panginoon. Lord, ba't di mo akong pinapapala? Nasa-serve ng mga sa'yo. Ba't di mo sinusupply mga pagkakailangan ko? Ba't di mo ako binibigyan ng trabaho? Ba't di mo ako pinopromote? Ito si God, yung tawag siya. Hindi niya pinapansin. Anak, doon ka magtrabaho. Nandun yung pagpapala ko sa'yo. Pero masyado siya busy doing things on his own. And the Bible says, kahit napakasipag niya, that is impotent. Kasi faith, dapat yung kasama ang work para pagbalain ng Panginoon. Work may kasamang faith para pagbalain ng Panginoon. Otherwise, it is impotent. We're not talking about salvation here. We're talking about when we offer to God, it must be God, not us. Thank you, guys. When you pray for the things you pray for, do you say, God, is this what you want from me? Pag pinagpala ka ng Panginoon, do you say, God, salamat po, pinagpala ko ako. But is this what you want for me? Is this what you want? To those who are going through hard times, do you say to God, God, anong gusto mo bang gawin sa pinagdadaanan ko na? To those who God is blessed, financially, physically, emotionally, in opportunities, do you say, God, is this what you want from me? Is this, ito ba yung sagot mo? Ito ba yun? Or are you just worship ka lang? Amen, emotions? Or are you busy? Working and working and working. Impressing everybody else except the God who calls you. The woman was blessed by God, commended by God, because she gave to God everything. Gave to God everything. In one of the cathedrals of England, merong isang cathedral doon sa, I believe it's either England or Germany, one of the older early church places. And one day the pastor was preaching kasi they're building, binibuild nila yung simbahan. Ang laki ng simbahan. And the pastor began to preach and he began to say, give your all to God and God will bless it. Give whatever it is you got, God will bless it. So sabi ng ibang tao, Pastor, wala po akong pera, resources, but I will work to help build this church. Sabi naman ng isa, Pastor, God has blessed us, and we will, give to build this church. May isang batang maliit. Yung mga tao nagpapasa ng commitment, sinusulat, kung ano yung gagawin na para sa Panginoon. Hindi niya alam kung ano yung bibigyan niya. Sabi niya, paano yun? Hindi naman ako marunong magmason, magkarpintero. Wala naman akong pera. How do I give my all to God? And the child was so driven, nung tumating yung offering plate, meron sa kotse-kotsihan. Kotse-kotsihan. Makahoy na yung kotse-kotsihan. Ginawa niya, habang nag-offering plate, ginawa niya yung mga kotse-kotsihan niya, tapos nilagay niya lahat sa offering plate. Nagalit yung usher. Yung kapal itong bata nito. Bakit nilalaro yung offering? So pinatawag yung bata at yung magulang ng bata. Tapos pinatawag sa room's office ng pastor pagkatapos. Sabi ng pastor, young man, can I just ask you a question? Why did you give your toy cars to God? To the offering? No? Papagalitan na dapat kasi mag-uuna kasi isipin, loko ng bata yung offering. Sabi ng bata, Pastor, you said that God can bless anything if I give my all to God. I don't have money. I don't know how to be a carpenter or a mason. And all I had were these toys. And this is all I have. So I decided maybe God can use it. So nilagay niya. To this day, hundreds of years later, somewhere in Middle England, ang isang malaking poste sa pintuan ng cathedral nung binuhos yung simento kasama yung toy cars ng bata. As a symbol of a heart fully given to God. Of a heart fully given to God. Oftentimes kasi sa atin, we try to impress the Lord with what we have. We forget that what we have, God owned it in the first place. Sometimes we try to secure everything kasi baka maubos, baka mawala, baka ano. We forget that it was God's to begin with. Sometimes we plan our life. Pagdating dito, this is what I will do, this is what I will do, this is what I will do. And we forget that talent is from the Lord anyway. Sa Panginoon pa rin galing. Imagine what God can do if that is fully given to God. This year, this January year, I can't think of anything that God would be honored more and would bless more than a life given to God. And maybe you're here. You say, Pastor, God, I don't know kung kailangan mo pa ng extra ganito, o ganito, o ganito, o ganito. But God, if whatever you need, I'm here. I will find my place kung saan mo pwede kong pagkalagay. Ipagkasiksikan mo yung sarili mo sa plano ng Panginoon. Huwag mo hintayin ang magpa-importante pa. Huwag mo hintayin kung ano pa. Find your place in the house of God, in the kingdom of God, and when you do, God will honor that place. Father, we come before you this evening, and we just want to thank you, Lord, and praise you, and want to say to you tonight, God, this is who I am, this is all I have, and God, that's yours. Bago ko po husgahan lahat ng bagay, before I judge anything, before I do anything, before I name anything, God, all of it, I give to you. I just give to you. Everything I have to live on, tulad ng widow, Panginoon. Lahat ng bagay ng aking pagkakabuhayan, Panginoon, sa iyo po. I will not wait to be called. I will look for a place where I can serve you. I will look for a place here in this church where I can serve you. I will look for time. I will look for opportunities to make a difference in lives of people. Father, we come before you, understanding clearly in our heart and mind that your plans are so much greater than ours. And your abilities are so much greater than ours. Lord, take this offering today. And Lord, take this life today. Lord, take these talents today. Lord, take these abilities today. And Lord, let it be used to build your kingdom, Lord, in this country, in this place. Lord, if there's a person here today that they don't know you as Savior, Lord, let them know you today. Let them come to know you, Lord. Father, we honor you and praise you. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity, Lord, to serve you in this place. Thank you, in your name we pray. Praise you.